Hello everyone. So in this video we are solving three questions of Principles of Microeconomics Past year. Principles of Microeconomics, which is being taught to GE courses and to Eco-Honors as well. Okay, now looking at the first question, Varun has 1000 rupees to spend and he can either spend on cold drinks and popcorn. Price of cold drink is 100, price of popcorn is 200. So here we have popcorn and here we have cold drink. The price of cold drink it is given price of cold drink is 100, price of popcorn is 200, income is 1000. Now if he consumes all with the help of his income, if he is consuming only popcorn, he can have 5 popcorn. Similarly, if he'll consume only cold drink, he can have a maximum of 10 cold drink. So this would be the budget line, and in this question we are supposed to construct and draw the budget constraint. So the equation of budget constraint is cold drink into price of cold drink plus popcorn into price of popcorn should be less than equals to 1000. So this intercept is 5. So this shaded area would be the budget constraint, including the budget line, when he is able to spend all his income. Okay, now moving on to the second part of the question. Show that the change in the budget constraint that would occur if price of popcorn dropped to 150. Now, since price of popcorn have dropped to 150, the new budget constraint would be the price of cold drink is same only. So 150 into price of into the popcorn plus 100 into cold drinks should be equals to 1000. This is the budget line. And similarly, now if he is consuming only popcorn, he can consume popcorn equals to, so when cold drink is 0, the equation would be 150 equals to 1000p, that is he is consuming only popcorn, and this will fetch us 1000 upon 150. So this is 20 by 3, which is 6.67. So we'll see, I'm drawing it with the green. Since the consumption of cold drink cannot increase because price of cold drink is 100 only, so the new budget line would tilt towards the popcorn axis, towards the x-axis. So, and this intercept would be 6.67. Okay, so now moving to our third part of the question. Showed the change in budget constraint that would occur if the price of cold drink doubled. Now, price of cold drink doubled. So, initially, if we have this, and now the price of cold drink doubled. If price of cold drink doubled, this means price of cold drink now is 200. And if you spend everything on cold drink, the consumption of cold drink would be 1000 by 200. So this would be 5. Now you can have a maximum of 5 cold drinks with the given income. So the budget line would shift in this manner. I'm drawing with the yellow curve. The consumption of cold drink would be 5. Maximum possible consumption of cold drink would be 5 in this case. Okay. Show the change in the budget constraint that would occur if his income increased by 2000. Now if his income doubles, he can have more of both popcorn and cold drink. So initially, if it was 5 and 10, popcorn were 5, cold drinks were 10. Now it can be 10 and this can be 20. So this would lead to a parallel shift of the budget line. Because his income is increasing, the new budget constraint would be 200 into popcorn plus 100 into cold drink equals to 2000. Okay. Now can we determine Varun's final consumption? Since we don't know what his utility function is, whether they are perfect substitutes, whether cold drink and popcorn. So usually cold drink and popcorn are perfect complements if you are specifically talking about movie theaters, but still we don't know what actual the preference of Varun is, so we cannot tell which particular combination would he be consuming. So we won't be able to tell the final consumption of Varun. Okay, now moving to the next question. Okay, look at this table. The table shows Priya's and Sonia expenditure on chocolates. I'll just try to copy this up. Okay, consumption of Priya and Sonia on chocolates. The total expenditure is given to us, the price is given to us, and we are supposed to use the midpoint formula to calculate the price elasticity of demand for both Priya and Sonia when the price of chocolate increases from 40 to 50. Now suppose initially we are talking about Priya. Solving the second question. The prices, suppose we are talking about Priya first. The prices are 40 and then 50, and corresponding to that the total revenue or the total expenditure. So the total expenditure by Priya is nothing but equal to total revenue what the other person, what the seller would get. Now at price 50, okay, 50 is above. Okay, so at price 50 and 40, price 50, she is spending 900, and then on price 40, she is spending 800. We know total revenue equals to price into quantity. So quantity equals to total revenue by price. So in this case, for Priya, the quantity would be 900 by 50. This is 18. In this case, 800 by 40, this would be 20. So this is the final consumption of Priya. And now if you want to find the elasticity of Priya with respect to total midpoint method, so the formula is change in Q by Q1 plus Q2 by 2, change in P upon P1 plus P2 by 2. Now this can be into 100 into 100. 100 would cancel out. You can cancel out 2 as well. So this would simplify to change in Q by change in P into P1 plus P2 by 2 into Q1 plus Q2 by 2. If 2 cancels out, so we are left with this. So this would be change in Q is 2, because the question is asking we are supposed to find the price elasticity of demand when the price of chocolate increases from 40 to 50. So as the price increases from 40 to 50, the change in quantity is -2, change in price is 10. P1 plus P2 by 2, okay, so we have P1 plus P2 only, and Q1 plus Q2 would be 38. So this is -9 by 19 coming out to be. Similarly, for Sonia, we can see since her total expenditure is this, the quantity of Sonia would be 10 in this case and 15 in this case. So elasticity of Sonia would be change in Q is 5 by change in P is 10 into P1 plus P2 is 90 divided by Q1 plus Q2 is 25. So this is coming out to be -9 by 5 using the midpoint method. Okay, now moving on to the next question. So this is the demand and supply structure given to us. And okay, look at these three values. Till price 40, supply 0, and at 50, price becomes 10. So you are supposed to draw the graph and state the equilibrium price in quantity and the total surplus in the glass market. So I hope you can draw the graph by your own. I'll just give you a slight hint of what the graph should look like. Now here we have quantity, here we have the price. Till price 40 there was no supply, so the supply curve would be this portion and then upward sloping. The demand curve would be downward sloping. So we know at price 20 demand is 100, at price 120 demand is 0. Okay, so this would give us the vertical intercept. So at 120 demand is 0. This is demand, this is supply. We want to find what the equilibrium quantity would be. This is the third question we are doing. Now the equilibrium quantity is 40, since at that quantity demanded equals to quantity supplied, and corresponding to that the equilibrium price would be 80. So I hope this is clear to everyone. This is visible from the diagram, from the given values only. So the equilibrium quantity is 40 and the equilibrium price corresponding to that is, so this is 40 quantity and the equilibrium price is 80. Now we are supposed to find total surplus. Total surplus is sum of consumer surplus plus producer surplus. Consumer surplus is this shaded area. It's the area of the curve below the demand curve and above the price level. So consumer surplus equals half, so the area of the triangle, half into base is 40, height is 40. Height is 40, we get 40 by 120 minus 80. So we are left with half into 40 into 40. This would, so consumer surplus is 800. Now looking at the producer surplus, this is the shaded area in green. This is the area above the supply curve and below the price level. So the producer surplus becomes half into base, which is 40 in this case, and then height, which is 80 minus 40, which is still 40. So we'll get half into 40 into 40. So this is equals to 800. The total surplus would be 800 plus 800. This is coming out to be 1600. Okay, now looking at the next part of the question, we are supposed to calculate the new quantity that will be traded, consumer surplus, producer surplus and deadweight loss if a price floor is set at 100. So price floors are set above the equilibrium price level, and what we can see is if the at 100 quantity demanded is 20, quantity supplied is 60. Okay, now we have second part of the question, price floor at P equals to 100. So I'll draw with a different color, suppose green. Now they have set up price floor at 100. We know from the graph itself the quantity demanded at 100 is 20, the quantity supplied is 60. So there exists a scenario of excess supply in the market. Now we are supposed to find the consumer surplus. Consumer surplus in this case is the area in green, this area, whereas the producer surplus is the area in red, this whole area. Now finding consumer surplus, what we know is consumer surplus would be half into base is 20 into height. Height is this height, this is also 20. So the consumer surplus is coming out to be 200. Now if you want to find the producer surplus, I'm highlighting it. Producer surplus is this whole area. Okay. Now, if you know the formula of trapezium, that would be more than sufficient to find it, because these two are the parallel lines, this and this. So the area of a trapezium is half into sum of parallel sides. So in this case, this would be 60 plus and this. So this price is 100, and at quantity 20, we can find what the supply is, at what price. So this price we can find by looking, this price intersects at the supply curve when quantity is 20. So we can look at this diagram, and quantity is 20 when the price is 60. Quantity supplied is 20 when the price is 60. So that intersected price would be 60. So we know this price is 60. Okay, so we were finding the area of the trapezium. So half into the sum of the parallel sides. This is 60, this is 40, into the height. Height is this is 20. So this is half into 100 into 20. So this is coming out to be 1000. Or if you don't know the area of the trapezium, you can first find area of A and B. A plus B is a rectangle, and then the area of the triangle. This will also fetch you the same result only. Okay. Now if you want to compare the deadweight, since a price floor has been imposed, the deadweight loss would consist of the area C and D. And the area of C and D would be the area of the triangle. Area C plus D equals to half into base into height, which is equals to, so the base is this much 40, height is this much 20. So half into 40 into 20, half into 40 into 20. So the deadweight loss would be 400. Thank you.